Scariest, episode 74, going down the line.
Hey, Mark Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
Jan David Sutar, Ravens Nation.
Gabriel Bellotti, Steelers Country.
All right, so let's go right on to reviews and stuff.
Hey. Well, what we saw, I was really pleased with what we saw in the Redskin game. Offense came out, did exactly what they needed to do. We had a 15-play, 9-minute drive that culminated in the first team's first offensive touchdown of the preseason. That's what I wanted to see. On the defensive side, they continued. They did a great job. You're looking at a play right now of Jordan Willis, who basically is doing what he did all of preseason and spending his time in the of opposition's backfield. And on the defensive side, we actually forced, I think it was 3 or 4 consecutive 3-and-outs. Mixon did fumble. Hopefully he learns to hold on to the ball. And you're looking at Carl Lawson here. Absolutely. The reason why I selected this play, he's torching. That's Trent Williams. That's an all-pro tackle he's torching. So really happy to see what we're seeing out of the defense. Was real happy to see what I saw in our game that week. This week, not going to talk about the game. All I want to do is get out of that game with no injuries and get ready. I want Bengal Nation to get ready for some very, very painful roster cuts because they will be coming. And also we've traded New England, Marquise Flowers, one of our backup linebackers, for a 7th-round pick. I saw on Twitter people talking about how worthless 7th-round picks are. Clayton Fendulum is a 7th-rounder. TJ Hushmanzad is a 7th-rounder. Cody Core is a 6th-rounder. I mean, these late-round picks can turn into real contributing players on your team. Yeah, so don't poo-poo that. And we placed Cedric Pierman on the IR, which is real unfortunate because he was going to be one of our guys, a big contributor in special teams. Going to take the remainder of my time to talk about Burfect. It's absolute bullshit what the league is doing. Check my Twitter feed, check the AFC Northerner Twitter feed. I just tweeted out a play of Reuben Foster. Everybody's touting as what a great aggressive play it was. It's a complete helmet-to-helmet contact. No one's saying anything. Tez does a legal play, and he gets a 5-game suspension. So it's absolute bullshit.
How many people here agree with him?
Well, we're actually getting
I think Burfict's a targeted player. I think he's had some incidences where
but I don't think it's unwarranted targeting sometimes.
Exactly.
I don't think because he's been a dirty player in the past, but he doesn't care that he's a dirty player.
I retweeted, check my Twitter feed, I retweeted tweets from Steeler fans that said the actual quote was, yeah, Burfict's trash, but nah, he doesn't deserve it on this one. I mean, that's been a consensus. I've seen polls as high as 75%.
How dare you say, I didn't see
it's a football play, guys.
It's a football
so,
play.
I get it.
Absolute bullshit.
The league watched it.
But I'll agree with you. Burfict is a target. But I don't think that he's put that target on himself. He has put that target
I'm not
on
arguing
himself.
that, but you don't suspend a guy 5 games for a completely legal play.
Unless you're trying to send a message.
So, well, like I said, go take a look at the Reuben Foster hit. That's an illegal play. No one's saying anything. League, just showing its bullshit, hypocrisy, two-faced self again. So screw you, NFL. All
right, moving on to Browns.
All right, let's jump right into it. Here's Hogan to Leslie for the game-winning touchdown. Browns won this past one, 13-9. We're gonna go right over into Kaiser. He got the start. Beautiful play right here to Corey Coleman for 32 yards. Coleman watched the push-offs. There's probably about 3 or 4 plays in this game where they could have gotten you on those push-offs. All right. Renell Hall continues to impress as a wide receiver, and the guy Leslie, like the play earlier, continues to also impress. The offensive line had no Batonio. Run game kind of struggled a little bit, and on the defensive line, we didn't run out Shelton, so I thought that we struggled a little bit with our run defense. Penalties, turnovers, that was the story of the game that hurt. I think that was pretty much the story for the whole couch.
Yes.
Let's jump right into this. Joe Haden, we all just heard maybe, 30 seconds ago?
Just happened.
3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Signs with the Steelers. Was 3 years for $27 million. Let's talk Haden. $75.4 million over 7 years from the Browns, and we won how many games? This preseason, he's allowed 1.61 yards per coverage snap. His passer rating is 104.6. Quarterbacks are eating him alive, man. Like, I don't understand why we're getting all pissed off. I'll go one step further. Coverage grades for Haden. His rookie year, it was an 87.5. Since then, it's been on a steady decline. 2012, 83.5. 2014, 79.4. And in 2016, 45.5. If Pittsburgh wants to give him all that much money, have at it, man. You're just getting Justin Gilbert heavy. Other news, Irving.
That's truth there.
Other news earlier today, Irving was traded to the Chiefs for a 5th-round pick in 2018, and just some roster stuff. Ed Reynolds and Gabe Eichert were waived. We terminated the contracts of Cam Johnson and Des Bryant, and we went ahead and signed Brandon Thompson.
Des Bryant.
Desmond.
Okay.
Des.
Okay.
Brandon
other
Thompson,
Des Bryant.
I was like, wait a minute.
lineman, and Christian Bryant, who's a DB. And that's pretty much what we got for Brown stuff.
What was the question?
No, they're back.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What do you got?
Okay, so
Rams.
real quick though, why do you think that like Browns fans are like are upset about that? Like, what do you think the logic is?
I think half Browns fans are upset. I think the other half are all right with the deal.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, why do you think? What do you think their argument is for like not wanting to?
Joe
let it go?
Haden, he's been a Brown for 7 years.
So
We
that's
got
all.
our
It's
bitch
funny
like
with the
this is
fan
a current
bases because
player.
you didn't see the revolt like Zeitler. Everybody was like, "We're not going to pay a guard that much," and he's
Yeah.
gone. And there's no animosity. We wish him
Yeah.
well. It's like
It's-
Terry Steinbach, same thing. It's
It's
That's always
pretty,
interesting to me.
pretty much just the fact that he's been a Brown for so long, for 7 years, and we've had so much turnover with the roster. You get kind of used to seeing a certain player being in a certain spot. But this is a player who's coming off of a groin surgery in the offseason. The last 3 years, he's had soft tissue problems all up and down the legs. I think he's at the end of his career, and I think that's what Pittsburgh's about to find out. I think at best he's a 3 in the DB area.
Yeah.
I think he needs a 1 and a 2, and move him over into the slot, and he can play half the downs, not every down.
We'll learn a lot when we find out how much is guaranteed and in what years, and you'll find out what the Steelers thought and how long they really plan on keeping him.
Yeah.
So,
Very true.
There's more.
Very true.
There's more to that too.
the devil's in the details.
So moving on to Ravens. So Ravens played the Bills, won against the Bills. Really, the offensive line is one of my concerns. They didn't really help out either QB, Mallett or Woodrum. Woodrum, Zuta actually wound up screwing up a snap onto him on it when it was 4th down. Just completely missed time. I think that we've also seen by this point that Woodrum is not ready for prime time. I think that he is a backup, possibly a practice squad guy at this point. It does seem that it's going to be Jensen I think it's going to be, I don't know, you can go with Jensen being the center and then Zuta being the backup, which is what I think it is. It really depends on.
Well, what about Woodrum?
Well, Woodrum, I think that here's the thing. I think
Flacco.
it's Flacco and Mallett. I don't see keeping Woodrum. I think that they may put him on a practice squad, but I don't see them running with him.
You don't think you'll keep a 3rd quarterback on the active roster?
Nah, I think that he will wind up going to the practice squad. It's just that's how I feel. On defense, great game on defense. We wound up batting down 4 passes right at the line of scrimmage. It really sizzled. Zadarius Smith with that sack on Tyrod that unfortunately also gave him a concussion. I'm sorry, Tyrod, I love you. Also, I would say that just watching Jalen Hill, and I'm going to talk about this guy more. Jalen Hill is a really interesting player to watch, and I really do think that he makes the 53-man roster. I've got some other predictions on that, but we'll talk about it another time. That being said, what else? Okay, you want to talk about plays? Just watch this play with smoke, all right? So watch Mazzell just go through, just burst through these defenders. Beautiful play. Absolutely loved it. And I want you guys to really see, this Terrell Suggs batted down pass right here. Cam Cameron's coming back, looks to throw it, sizzles right there, goes up, reads the situation, backs up from the lineman, comes back, bats it down, boom. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful example of, veteran linebacker. Of knowing that I can't get to the QB, but I can get the
Get my
pass
hands up. Oh,
yeah.
We
And-
saw a lot of that
and we saw
last year
4
from you guys.
And we
Yeah.
saw 4 of them in a row in the same game, basically. So Ravens defense is really low on everybody's fantasy charts right now. Everybody's like, oh, Ravens defense. I think the Ravens defense is really going to surprise. I was just talking about this with Tanner, who's a guy I did a podcast with. You should definitely check it out. I'll give you more information on that through the Twitter. But anyway, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's Ravens. As far as like going in to next week, we don't even know if we're going to have a game yet because of the storm in New Orleans. Some people are saying yay, some people are saying nay. I don't really have anything there yet until that's solidified. That being said, I mean, I think that I'm ready to start talking about like where the 53-man roster is going. I think that that's interesting for next episode.
Yeah. One of the things I want to point out is we can see why the fourth week of the preseason is so meaningless. I mean, the NFL isn't looking to move these games. The Dallas, Cowboy, Houston, they're just going to refund season ticket money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're meaningless. So you can see the push we're going towards an 18-game season and a 3-game preseason.
Great.
By the time the CBA is being renegotiated, that will happen.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Steelers.
So yeah, against the Colts, there's really not much to talk about this week with that. The game was the game, and
I think there's a lot to
the
talk
game
about
was
there.
the game.
The game was the game.
It's gonna be like that every time we lose.
All right, so
Steelers fans are getting a lot of practice
so here's-
sounding like Browns fans.
So here's the thing.
Get used to it.
So here's the thing. Ben looked good with the exception of the fumble, but I'm not going to really blame Ben on that. I'm going to blame the offensive line on that. Someone got right through and was able to get right back to him. Luckily, Ben didn't look like he got hurt at all. Brown looked like Antonio Brown, like he always does, which was nice. He was he had a nice real slant pass that just was through some defenders and was able to get it and keep going, which was looking really nice. Martavis Bryant looked good, which is really good for us right now on the offensive side. And I will say this, Jones looked as good as Jones has looked probably, I think, maybe ever. He was making passes. He had a nice touchdown, 10-yard touchdown throw to Xavier Grimble, which was looking nice. And I think the biggest thing, and Steelers fans we've become accustomed to this in the Tomlin era, some head scratchers when it comes to play calls. And I think one of the ones is, even though Jones threw the interception, which was his fault, wasn't his fault, it was a miscommunication between him and the receiver, taking him out and putting in Dobbs. I think if you're gonna stick with Jones as your second in command, I think you just need to just let him play the rest of the game. That's about it. That was on the offensive side. The defensive side, that pass rush needs to get even better. Like we're struggling still right now in the pass rush. We allowed almost 260 yards in the pass rush. The defensive, the run defense looked really good. We allowed under 70 yards.
That's
this week.
260 yards in one game.
In one game.
Ravens have a total of 520 yards allowed.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, our pass rush needs a lot of work. We really didn't get to the quarterback this week at all. I think there were 4 QB hits and a total of 1 sack, and nobody got recorded on that 1 sack exactly. It was Harrison and somebody else were both recorded for a half sack on that. The only real standout on the defensive side was Ryan Shazier with his interception in, I believe it was the first quarter. But other than that, it's this game, the pass rush, it's really the defense still needs some work. Yeah. With that being said, Steelers, they like to take a chance, and so we'll see what happens with Joe Haden. Who knows? If they're going to spend $27 million on him, they obviously see something, and Keith Butler obviously sees something.
I wonder if there's any incentives for him playing all 16 games.
That's why That's why I said the devil's in the details.
Yeah.
We got to see how it was structured, how much money was guaranteed.
Because has he played a full season without injury?
Not in the last 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But the sheer fact that they picked him up shows that they have
They
doubts
see
about their
doubts.
secondary.
They do, yeah.
There's
They
no
see,
question.
and it shows that they see something. They've seen something in him over
Just
the years. They
feels
want to give him
like
a chance.
a used Band-Aid being put on a wound.
We'll see.
I
Used
think
Band-Aid.
I know, right?
I think Mark was saying that they're not trusting their secondary.
Right.
That's
I
fun.
wonder if that's why you guys went out earlier, I think it was yesterday or maybe it was the day before, and traded with San Francisco, I believe, for the tight end.
Yeah.
That had more depth offensively. That's how many weapons does Roethlisberger have now?
He's got,
That you guys, I think the way you're thinking is if we put up enough points on the board,
Right.
we can compensate for all the points our defense is going to give up.
The Raider mentality.
That's interesting.
Put up 32 and lose.
Because last season they were trying to put up 30 plus points, and most of the games Pittsburgh did put up at least 25 to 30 some odd points in most of the games last season.
Was it that many? Was it?
There were a lot.
I don't know.
It was probably I'd say at least 9 of those games, at least 9 of the games last season, Pittsburgh put
I'll
up
go back
around
and
25.
We're gonna look that up
points. Look it up.
And you can throw it on the comment
need to move
column.
on, guys.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, go ahead and tear me apart on that. But I'm almost positive because I was really proud of Pittsburgh putting up that many points last year.
Yeah. We got to move on to the table discussion of the day. So the discussion is, who, in your opinion, is the scariest rookie of the AFC North so far on defense?
That's right.
So, and that doesn't mean it necessarily has to be with your team.
9-9, baby. 9-9,
it-
that's a clue.
See, I'm superstitious. I never wear the jersey of anybody that's not a
No.
rookie.
Well, this is a Pollock jersey.
It's a Pollock jersey.
But who's wearing 9-9 this season is somebody you saw a clip of earlier who has spent the entire preseason in the opponent's backfield, and that's Jordan Willis. We went speed. I like what we've seen from Carl Lawson, but he was hurt for the second game. The body of work, I'm going on the body of work
So-
of all preseason. I say
Real quick though, is that your rookie of scariest rookie on defense for your team and the entire AFC
Yes,
North?
absolutely.
Okay.
He is going to, and he'll be scary for you week 1 with the offensive line you have, and a Joe Flacco with, we don't really know how his back is. So we're
Yeah.
going to find out week 1. Jordan Willis will be there.
Cool.
All right. All-American in 2012, 2013, 2014. 2013, All-USA Defensive Player of the Year. Was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year in 2015. 2016 Heisman Trophy finalist, placed 5th. Senior year numbers, 46 solo tackles, 21 assisted tackles, 3 sacks, 1 interception, 8 quarterback hits, and 1 pass deflected. And here, on this clip, is his first career NFL interception, Jabril Peppers. He will be the scariest defensive player in this whole division this coming year because of the flexibility that we have to line him up in multiple spots. He's just going to dominate. He's very quick to the ball. He anticipates where it's going to be. Watch any game like the last 2 games. We see preseason 3 and preseason 2. Anytime the ball is thrown or it's ran, he seems to either be within the general vicinity of the play or an announcer's calling his name for making the play. I think Peppers is just going to be the legit stud, and I think with what we have on the defensive line, I think it's just going to accent his ability defensively.
All right.
That's my pick.
So for me, the scariest rookie on defense in my team on Ravens is Jalen Hill. Like, this kid is just everywhere. Like, if you look at his stats, you look at, like, for all the reasons you said, with the exception of the schools, where he's played. I mean, he is the exact same. Always there. He's mean. It's like it's almost as if we found our own Malcolm Butler. That being said, I think that the scariest rookie on defense in the AFC North right now is Myles Garrett. To me, like, he just brings more to your defense.
God, yes.
I think that Myles Garrett, what he brings to your defense on a whole,
teams and triple
exactly,
teams.
that's scarier to me than what Jabril Peppers can do.
I was surprised that you didn't go with Garrett. However, I'm in it with the caveat being you have Hugh, and I have obviously vast experience with Hugh Jackson, and he will get the most out of Peppers. So I do see
I get that.
why you went down there.
But I'm looking at, like,
Games, I
scariest,
think
like, there's any position
I
you
got
put him
it.
in,
Right.
because I think that Myles Garrett is scary on the run D. I think he's scary on the pass D. I think that he is, like, whereas Jabril is, like, really good on pass. Like, he is where the ball
And
needs to
in
be.
run defense.
Exactly, but
46 solo tackles,
I
21
just-
assisted.
when I'm
18
watching-
hits, that's run defense right there.
I'm arguing for both of yours. I still think that,
I'm
like,
just a little fired up today.
He came chippy today.
yeah. So I think that, like, as much, like, as far as, like, pass rush on my D, I love what I see, but nobody is making me go, oh my god, that dude scares
Humphrey?
me. I haven't seen enough of Humphrey.
Okay.
I haven't seen enough of Marlon
That's why I
Humphrey.
didn't go with Lawson. He looked great against Washington. He had a couple flashes, but we haven't seen enough.
What about you?
I'll agree with you on all around with Garrett. Steelers, I've got to go TJ Watt. I've just got to go TJ Watt.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's scary.
No,
We
TJ
didn't
Watt, like,
we
it was-
didn't really see a lot of him yesterday. Not yesterday, but this week. But over the preseason, what we've been seeing and what we've been seeing in training camp, he's fast.
Right.
I think he's going to tear up a lot of. I think he's going to get to a lot. I think he's going to get to a lot of quarterbacks. I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see a JJ Watt. I think Steelers have their own J.J. Watt in T.J. Watt. I think we're going to start seeing, maybe not this season, or at least not in the beginning of the season, but I think once he becomes comfortable, once he really gets the scheme down with Keith Butler, I really think we're going to see T.J. Watt. I think we're going to have another James Harrison on our hands, really. I really do.
Is there anybody else who want to throw in that mix for that main game? I think we get another TJ Watt. I think we get another James Harrison.
They've gone down this rabbit hole because they went and got Jones, and he didn't pan out. So
It's true, but I think we've got Watt is better, and I think we've got another James Harrison on our hands. Honestly, I think that with him and with Hargrave and with some of the other people that we've got right now, I think he's going to wind up becoming the cornerstone in the future. And I think this season you're going to see. I'm going to call it now. He's going to have at least 5 strip sacks this season.
Put it down.
That's an interesting prediction.
Episode 74.
That's right.
Yeah, remind me.
That's fine. Episode 74.
Yeah, T.J. Watt has shown more.
But you think
just this preseason than Jarvis Jones?
I think he's scary.
For your team, but overall, like scariest in the AFC North.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah. Okay. So two for Miles Garrett, 1 for Jubo Peppers, and you still.
I'm staying with Jordan Willis because of the team around him. You can't sleep on, if you're going to double team Dunlap or somebody coming from the other side or Lawson, that's going to leave Willis open. Plus, Chris Smith has emerged. We have so many pass rushers that I really think the Bengals are just going to be scary on the defensive line. I think they're going to make a statement week 1, and I feel bad for Joe Flacco. I really do.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting, especially to see whether or not Austin Howard, I don't know how much he was holding back in preseason games. It's also going to be interesting to see, Ronnie Stanley we haven't seen out there at all yet.
Right.
Ronnie Stanley's been held back, and that may have been a conscious decision from Harbaugh.
Stanley's not a rookie, and it's
No,
offensive
exactly.
line.
No, but I'm talking
but he's talking about counteracting my defensive line.
exactly.
So, I got you. I agree.
Yeah.
We're
So
gonna see.
I think that the Ravens have been almost Bill Belichick sneaky about hiding things, and I think that that's really interesting. My conspiracy theory is in that. It's we haven't seen all of the best guys play, but we haven't really had a disclosure on how bad those injuries are. What is that say? I have to sit there and go, it feels very interesting to me. Anyway, everybody good?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, so consensus is 2 for Miles Garrett, 1 for Jubilo Peppers, 1 for
Jordan Willis.
Jordan Willis. Awesome, guys. Tell us who you think is the serious defensive rookie in the AFC North. Comment on this episode. We'd love to know. Absolutely want to talk to you about that, and also want to hear your arguments for and against our picks as well. I think
some shout-outs.
we're gonna do some shout-outs.
First shout-out, we are at Rocco's again in Studio City.
Thanks again to Rocco's.
Great place to take in a game.
Yes, it is.
Be here opening day.
Yep, you can check
Watch
them
your
out
game here.
right here, roccostavern.com. Also, want to send a shout out real quick to Superfan Style. If you go onto their website, you'll see our code below right here to get 20% off of their website for their AFC North apparel. It is AFC North 20. Thanks again to them for helping sponsor the show. Don't forget, guys, also we're going to be broadcasting live on Facebook Live every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern,
right.
1 p.m. Pacific.
Right.
And we also release the show the following day, Thursday at 9 a.m. So you'll be seeing this Thursday at 9 a.m. We have our own Reddit, r/AFC Northerners. And we're also on Twitter, Facebook, etc. Is there anything I'm missing?
Well, I want to give a big thank you to my Bengal brother from another mother, Ace Boogie, for stepping in. He's going to be doing our game day feed. So thank you, Ace. Great job. And
Bengals brother from
another mother. Who day, brother? Who day? So thank you very much. He'll be doing the game day feeds or the halftime update. So look for that. And
and I want to send a shout out to Tanner for doing a podcast with him. I'm going to post that. I don't have the information. I'm sorry, Tanner. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person.
He didn't even come up with a slogan for you or anything.
I'm getting married in 18
Raven brother,
days.
no nothing.
All right. I am getting married in 18 days. My brain is so fried.
I'm married. I know.
It coincides with the end of the Ravens season.
Yeah. See that? Yeah. We're playing you the day I
So
get married.
maybe if you're playing the Browns.
We're playing the Browns the day that I get married. I know.
So we're all gonna root for the Browns.
But none of you fuckers are coming.
If we didn't,
I wasn't invited. Well, you didn't know me then. Exactly.
You
don't yell at me.
If we don't beat Flacco up enough, you're going to get Myles Garrett week 2. So.
I'm so superstitious, and I've literally got everybody's in my groom's party, holding little Ravens flags inside. Oh my god, it's the best.
Stupid stitches.
Stupid stitches.
Stupid stitches.
Totally stupid stitches. All right, guys. Thanks again. We passed 600 subscribers. Yeah, we passed 600 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. We really love you. I love that you love the show as much as we do. We're going to keep doing it. More things are in the works, and we're going to sign off as we always do with
Fuck the Patriots! Bye, everybody.
See you next week, guys.